Chapter 1. The frozen signal. The wind came down off the Rockies like a living thing, clawing at the windshield of Elena Ramirez's Kenworth with fists of ice. Highway 1 west of Banff was a white ribbon unspooling between black pines. The only light, the pale green shimmer of the aurora overhead and the occasional flicker of her own headlights on drifting snow. She had left Vancouver at dawn with a belly full of frozen salmon bound for a Calgary distributor, and the storm had caught her just past Lake Louise. The forecast had promised flurries. This was a full-throated blizzard. Elena eased the rig down to 50 kilometers an hour, knuckles pale on the wheel. 38 years old, 22 of them behind a steering wheel, and she still hated mountain nights. Too many blind curves, too many places for a rig to slide sideways into oblivion. She clicked the CB2 channel 19 out of habit. "Anybody running east with eyes on the pass?" she asked, voice low, the Spanish lilt of her childhood softened by years in Alberta. Static answered first, then a crackle, thin and frantic. "Help please, my car's stuck. I'm freezing." A woman, young, the kind of tremor in her throat that made Elena's stomach knot. She scanned the shoulder ahead, nothing but snow and darkness. She thumbed the mic again. "Say your mile marker, sweetheart. I'm in a blue KW. Hazard lights on." Another burst of static, then coordinates that put the stranded motorist less than a kilometer ahead, just past the rest stop turnoff. Elena's gut gave its familiar tug. Caution. Always caution, but the plea looped in her head. She had a daughter in Guadalajara she hadn't seen in 3 years. Same age maybe. She eased off the throttle. The rest stop appeared on her right. A single sodium lamp buzzing over a plowed rectangle. 2 picnic tables buried under drifts. A lone sedan half off the pavement with its hazards blinking red through the swirl. Elena swung wide, tires crunching, and backed into the far corner so the trailer blocked the wind. She left the engine idling, heat roaring, and grabbed the tire iron from behind the seat. Old habit, never step out unarmed. Snow stung her cheeks the second she cracked the door. The cold was a slap, sharp enough to steal breath. She left the cab lights on, high beams carving tunnels in the storm, and started toward the sedan. 20 meters 15. The driver's door hung open. A figure huddled against it, hood up, scarf across the face. "Hey," Elena called, voice swallowed by wind. "You okay in there?" The figure didn't move. Elena's boots sank ankle deep with every step. She angled the tire iron low. Ready. 10 meters. The hazards blinked, blinked, blinked. Something felt staged like a diorama under glass. She was 5 meters away when the CB in her cab crackled again, loud enough to carry through the open door. "Elena, do not get out. It's a setup. Repeat, do not." The voice wasn't the girl's. It was male, urgent, familiar. Jocks, the rookie she'd been mentoring on the airwaves for weeks. The figure by the sedan lifted its head. No eyes visible, just shadow inside the hood. Then it straightened, not panicked, not shivering, and took one deliberate step backward into the darkness between the car and the tree line. A second shape detached itself from beneath the sedan's chassis. Low, fast, sliding on elbows like a lizard across the ice. Male hoodie, dark with melted snow. Something glinted in his gloved hand metal. Short, vicious. Elena's heart slammed once, hard. She pivoted, boots skidding, and sprinted for the rig. The snow fought her, dragging at every stride. Behind her, footsteps, 2 sets now crunching fast. She reached the driver's door, yanked it open, and hurled herself inside as the first attacker lunged. His fingers scraped the frame. The tire iron caught him across the forearm with a wet crack. He snarled, stumbled back. Elena slammed the door, hit the lock, threw the truck into gear. The rig lurched forward, trailer chains rattling. In the side mirror she saw them, the girl thing standing calm now, hood down, face blank as porcelain, the man clutching his arm, already retreating toward the trees. No stranded motorist, no broken radiator steaming. Just bait and a hunter. She floored it. The Kenworth roared onto the highway, tires spinning for purchase. Then biting snow lashed the windshield in horizontal sheets. The CB lit up again. "Elena, you copy? Talk to me." Jocks 23, green as spring wheat, running produce out of Kelowna. They'd traded weather reports and bad coffee recipes for a month. He wasn't supposed to know her exact mile marker. "Got a buddy in dispatch owed me a favor. Saw your eld ping the rest stop and remembered you mentioning Banff tonight." Then Channel 9 lit up. Somebody else reported a fake breakdown, same spot last week. "I took a shot," Elena exhaled, fogging the glass. "You just saved my hide, kid. Copy that. Stay on the hammer. I'm 2 hours behind you. We'll link in Calgary. Convoy the rest of the way." She clicked off, hands steadying on the wheel. The storm raged, but the highway stretched open ahead, plowed and empty. For now. In the mirrors, a pair of headlights flickered into view, far back, high beams cutting through the blizzard like searchlights. They held steady, neither gaining nor falling back. Elena's grip tightened. She reached for the CB again, but the channel had gone silent. The headlights followed her around the next bend and did not blink out. Chapter 2. The mirage in the heat. 7 months later. The prairies baked under a July sun that felt like a branding iron. Saskatchewan's Highway 11 stretched east from Regina in a straight shimmering line, heat devils dancing above the asphalt. Elena had swapped salmon for drywall compound, Calgary to Winnipeg, and the Kenworth now wore a fresh coat of dust that turned the blue paint the color of old denim. The air conditioner wheezed like a dying accordion, but she kept it cranked anyway. Anything to drown out the cicadas screaming in the ditches. She was running solo again. Jocks had taken a dedicated run up to Prince Rupert and wouldn't be back on the air for days. The silence on Channel 19 felt heavier than the load behind her. The pickup appeared around mile marker 142. A silver Ford half in the gravel, hood up, emergency flashes blinking lazy orange. A figure stood beside it, hood pulled low, one arm raised in a slow, deliberate wave. Heat rippled off the road, warping the image, but Elena caught the details. Jeans, work boots, a red plaid shirt tied around the waist. The posture was wrong for a breakdown. Too relaxed, too symmetrical. She eased off the throttle, letting the rig coast. 50 meters, 30. The figure never shifted weight, never glanced under the hood. Just that steady wave, like a metronome. Elena thumbed the CB. Anybody got eyes on a silver Ford, mile 142 eastbound. Looks like trouble. Static. Then a trucker she knew only as Prairie Dog. Negative. Blue KW. Road's been clean all morning. Keep rolling. Her gut twisted. She was already past the pickup, but the mirror showed the figure lowering its arm, turning to watch her go. No panic, no running to flag the next vehicle, just watching. 10 kilometers later, the CB crackled again. This time it was Jock's voice cutting through the static like a knife. She accelerated, tires humming. The heat pressed against the windows like a living thing. Elena, you copy? I'm on a landline at a pilot in Lumsden. Got a weird one for you. Talk to me. The buddy of mine runs fuel out of Moose Jaw. Same stretch you're on. Said he saw a dummy rigged in a ditch last week. Speakers in the chest playing a loop of a woman crying. 2 guys jumped out of the grass when he slowed. He floored it, called the RCMP. By the time they rolled up, the dummy was gone. Poof. Elena's mouth went dry. Mile marker 142, exact spot. She checked her mirrors. Nothing behind her but heat haze and the occasional grain truck. Still, the skin on her neck prickled. Copy that. Saw the bait. I'm 10 clicks past. Didn't bite good. But listen, RCMP logged it. Then the report vanished. Desk sergeant said it was misfiled. Smells like someone's covering tracks. Elena frowned. Who's got the juice to scrub a police report in the middle of nowhere? That's the question. Stay sharp. I'm back on the road tomorrow. We'll link in Winnipeg, Roger. Keep your ears on. She signed off, then reached under the seat for the compact flare gun she'd bought after BAM. Loaded, safety off, wedged between the cushion and the door. The prairie rolled by, endless and indifferent. At the next crossroads, she pulled into a co-op fuel stop, tires crunching on sun-bleached gravel. The lot was half full. Locals and pickups, a couple of reefers idling under the canopy. She fueled up, eyes scanning every face. No silver Ford, no plaid shirt. But as she climbed back into the cab, her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Urgent reroute, overflow yard 12 kilometers north on grid 734, confirm receipt. Penalty for delay, no company logo, no signature. Just the same clipped urgency she'd seen in scams before. She forwarded it to dispatch, then called the direct line. The supervisor picked up on the first ring. Ramirez, that text isn't ours. Route's unchanged. Where the hell did it come from? Beats me. I'm ignoring it. Do that and Elena log every mile. If someone's spoofing our system, we need proof. She hung up, heart thudding. The flare gun felt heavier now. Outside, the sun dipped toward the horizon, turning the sky the color of dried blood. Cicadas screamed louder, as if sensing what was coming. As she pulled back onto the highway, a dust cloud rose in the rearview. Far back, but gaining. A dark pickup, no markings, riding her bumper like it belonged there. Elena pressed the accelerator. The Kenworth growled, picking up speed. The dust cloud kept pace. She reached for the CB again, but before she could key the mic, her phone buzzed with another text. Same unknown number. You should have stopped to help. You should have stopped to help. Chapter 3. The Ghost Yacht. Dusk settled over Edmonton's industrial fringe like a bruise, the sky bleeding from orange to violet behind rows of corrugated warehouses. Elena rolled north on grid 734. The reroute text still glowing on her phone. She had ignored it for 20 minutes, but curiosity and a stubborn need to know who was playing games won out. Dispatch had told her to log everything and keep moving. She would, after she saw the yard for herself. The address led to a cracked service road flanked by chain link and knee-high weeds. A single sign read, Northland Freight Overflow. The paint was fresh, letters to crisp for a lot that supposedly sat empty. Elena slowed, tires hissing on loose gravel. The gate stood open, a magnetic lock dangling like it had never been used. Inside, sodium lamps buzzed to life one by one, throwing long shadows across empty concrete. She eased the Kenworth through, trailers scraping the frame. The yard was L-shaped, loading docks on the left, a cluster of sea cans on the right, a squat office trailer dead ahead. 3 rigs sat nosing against the fence, 2 reefers, 1 flatbed, engines cold, no drivers in sight. Too neat, too quiet. The only sound was the low thrum of her own diesel and the faint patter of rain starting to speckle the windshield. A man stepped out from behind the office trailer, orange safety vest, hard hat, clipboard. He raised a hand. Calm, professional. Ramirez, he called. Spot 7. Back row. Docks open. Elena kept the window up, engine idling. She studied him. Mid-40s, clean-shaven, earpiece wire curling into his collar. The vest had a logo Northland, same as the sign, but something itched at the back of her neck. The clipboard was blank. No manifest, no scanner. She thumbed the CB. Jocks, you copy. I'm in the yard. Static. Then his voice, thin with distance. Copy. Signals crap. You see anyone? One guy looks legit. Too legit. Clock it. 2 minutes, then roll. The man in the vest approached, boots crunching. He tapped the window with 2 knuckles. Paperwork inside, he said, voice muffled. Leave it in the bin. We'll unload. Elena cracked the window 2 inches. Need a signature first. Company policy. He smiled. Easy. Practiced, of course. Doors unlocked. Behind him, the loading dock roll-up began to rise with a mechanical groan. Another figure appeared inside the bay hoodie work gloves, already climbing the trailer steps. The latch on her rear doors clicked open. Metal on metal, fast, too fast. Elena's pulse spiked. She threw the rig into reverse. The trailer jackknifed, tires screeching. The man in the vest lunged for the door handle. She hit the lock a half-second before his fingers closed. The hoodie guy was already inside the trailer, silhouette moving between pallets. She laid on the horn long, brutal blasts that echoed off the warehouses. The vest guy stumbled back, hands up. From the sea cans, a third figure emerged. Casual, hands in pockets, blocking the lane. No rush, just containment. Elena shifted to drive, floored it. The Kenworth surged, trailer swinging wide. She clipped a stack of pallets wood exploding across the concrete and aimed for the gate. The third man dove aside. In the side mirror, the vest guy was on a radio, shouting. Then headlights flared behind the office trailer, high beams cutting through the rain. A white SUV, unmarked, roaring straight at her. Elena swerved left, tires hydroplaning. The SUV fishtailed, clipped her mirror, kept coming. She burst through the gate, metal screeching, and hit the service road doing 60. The SUV stayed on her tail, grille filling the mirror. Rain slashed sideways now, turning the world into streaked glass. The CB crackled. Elena talk. Ambush 3, maybe 4. They're on me. Hold tight. I'm 5 minutes out. 5 minutes, a lifetime. She took a hard right onto the frontage road. Trailer, fishtailing the SUV, mashed her bumper, kissing steel. Then blue and red strobes in the mirror. A cruiser, real RCMP decals, cutting in from a side street. It boxed the SUV, forcing it to brake. Elena kept moving. She pulled into a Petro-Canada 2 kilometers later, heart hammering so hard she tasted metal. The vest guy, the cruiser followed, lights still flashing. An officer stepped out tall, rain dripping from his brim. Same clean-shaven face, same earpiece, the vest guy. He approached slow, hands visible. Ma'am, you okay? We got a call about a disturbance. Elena stared. The cruiser's plate was muddied, numbers unreadable. No dash cam visible. The SUV was gone. Back off, he told the officer. She's with me. Jocks's rig roared into the lot behind the cruiser, hazards blinking. He jumped down, tire iron in hand. The man in the vest smiled again, tight, almost regretful. Misunderstanding. We'll sort it at the station. Elena saw the holster under the rain jacket empty, no sidearm. He reached for his radio, not standard. Jocks stepped between them. We're leaving. File your report online. The officer's eyes flicked to the Kenworth, to the trailer seals still intact. Something passed across his face. Calculation, then decision. He nodded once and returned to the cruiser. The strobes cut off. He drove away without another word. Elena and Jocks watched the taillights vanish into the rain. He was one of them, she said quietly. Jocks nodded, and he just let us go. Why? Because they still had what he wanted. Elena realized. The load, the pattern, the next move. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Next time, no police. Just you.